What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're gonna love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
Welcome to the F1 Underground Podcast, the brand new podcast from Underground Network, focusing on all things Formula One. My name is Casey, and I'm your host, along with Owen. Today, we're going to take some time to talk about weekly news in F1, like the major changes within Ferrari, our Saudi Arabian GP predictions, and what if Philly had a Grand Prix? What would that look like? So,
it would look cool. It's what it would look like.
We're going to geek out for the middle part of this podcast.
That is what it would look like.
What, us geeking out, or?
Well, no, that certainly won't be cool.
No.
Philadelphia Grand Prix would be very cool, though.
Oh, yes, absolutely. But we'll get into that a little bit later. That's in the middle of the podcast. First, just some weekly news within F1 since there was no race last weekend.
Boo.
The wind, sorry. Yeah, like I said, there's been some major changes within Ferrari. Some I think are rumors, but there's been some decent news breaking.
A lot of talks.
Yes, we are officially in Fred's reign. He is the president, or he is the team principal, and he's in charge. There was a lot of rumors going around that he dismissed rumors, basically saying that he was unhappy with him working with Ferrari's president, that they weren't working well together. But he basically put those rumors to bed and said that this is the most power he's ever had within a team. So he's enjoying it. He's like how he is getting to work. He's also using Jean Tot's time as team principal as an example, which shout out to Jean Tot, ultimate wag this past weekend at the Oscars.
I was wondering why that name sounded so familiar.
Yeah, so he was the team principal
all over Twitter
during Michael Schumacher's reign.
Yeah.
And his son is LeClerc's racing manager.
I did not know that.
So she is the ultimate F1 Ferrari fan. She is the ultimate wag, but he was playing wag this past weekend.
He was playing wag this weekend.
Michelle Yeoh, if you're not understood what they were talking
I
about.
still have to watch that movie.
So do
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
But yes, he's using the way he ran the team, because apparently when he joined, he cleaned house. And then obviously was very successful with Michael Schumacher. So that's kind of what Fred's going with. Using examples from him. One of the most major things, the new head of vehicle concept, which they got from Red Bull. I'm totally going to butcher the last name. Diego Tondi?
It's so easy. Yeah, probably Tondi.
Okay. Well, he's the new head of vehicle concept, and he will be taking care of developing this year's car, the SF23, and next year's car, which I believe they start development pretty soon, actually.
Oh, they have to.
But yeah, so he is confirmed new. There were rumors that Laurent McKees could be leaving, but there were rumors that he got offers from the FIA as well, but he turned them down. But I believe he is actually staying for now. He'll be on the pit wall, which I kind of like him, so we'll see how it goes. Except that clip of him in Drive to Survive flipping through his notebook. Like, come on. You don't know what you're looking for.
I found Diego Tondi's LinkedIn.
Are you going to connect with him?
No idea if this is actually it or not. It's all in Italian, so I'm going
to say yes.
But,
does it have Red Bull as his previous work?
No, but if this is legit, he worked as an aerodynamicist for the Ferrari F1 team back in 2008, 2011.
Oh, yes. No, I think I saw that they said they were bringing him back.
It doesn't say Red Bull specifically. I mean, this is
what tweet I sent you. Well, the article was in Italian, so I was reading the translated version when that Twitter gives you quickly.
Oh, yes.
But regardless, he's the one that's new and announced. I believe he started already. Obviously, like I just said, Laurent McKees, there were rumors he was leaving, but he's staying for now. Both the engine development leads and the chassis, is that how you say it? How do you say it?
Chassis.
Yeah, thank you.
chassis.
Both of those leads could be out also, but there's basically rumors at this point. But it sounds like that Fred wants to clean house and bring everyone back in. And then there was, after last week or 2 weeks ago, after Bahrain, LeClerc requested a meeting with the president of Ferrari. I think it also came out that Fred was there as well. He basically just discussing his concerns. Obviously, he doesn't want a repeat of last year.
Yeah, I'm going back and forth with this like cleaning house mentality, because it's like, okay, yes, you had a crappy year last year. You know, obviously you had all the car troubles, blah, blah, blah. Definitely need to make some changes. But like to start cleaning house only after one bad race, like,
I know.
is that too much? You know,
but like, was he not able to make the changes earlier in the season?
That's
like,
a good point.
Know.
Yeah,
they keep saying this like gardening period, which I have to look up. I can look it up. Like gardening period within F1 and like contracts, and that's why Benito had to continue on for a certain amount of time. Like he couldn't just up and leave. I don't know if it's like the equivalent of putting your 2 weeks in, but I keep seeing like this gardening period. Did you look it up?
Yes. So the only thing that I found was, what is gardening leave?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, Reddit's down. Can't look at that one. All right. Yeah. I had the thing right in front of my face. Oh, here you go. So gardening leave. Now I'm finding it in the document.
Searching the terms.
This is, yeah. So, all right, gardening leave is used in F1 to restrict the spread of specialist information, often technical, when employees switch between teams. It is unheard of to see such a position last less than 3 months, and Mercedes normally stipulates 2 years when possible.
Yes, this is like in Mercedes terms.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, well, that makes sense, though, because when did Benito was announced he was being fired? When? Was it right before Christmas?
That sounds right in my head. Yes.
So if you figure out the time frame, it's been.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if it's set by teams too, then
like this car was developed by him. This
Yeah.
is still Mattia's car.
Yeah.
But
oh well, then maybe it's not. Maybe it's not an overreaction. Then maybe I'm just.
It just seems after the first race where they were awful.
It's like, oh, we had one bad race. Let's start cleaning. Let's start cleaning house and getting people out. Like, but that is. I mean, go ahead, clean house.
I was going to say, not to bring in another sport, but it's like us with being Flyers fans right
work.
now. Like there's rumors that they're going to clean house completely, whether they sell the team or not. But
okay, no, they'll never sell the team, unfortunately.
When you're fans of teams that begin with the letter F, I'm coming to realize
they're just bad. They're just bad.
They're just bad. There was also rumors that I don't know where the rumors came from, but that LeClerc wanted to leave, that he could go to Mercedes. I've seen that before, that there's always been, like, there's pictures of him talking to Toto all the time. He could go to Mercedes, and Lewis would come to Ferrari, but
interesting.
Literally Leclerc liked a tweet that a fan, where'd it go? I screenshotted it. Hold on. Leclerc liked a tweet from a fan, but it was like a quote from an interview that he did, stating Charles has no intention to leave Ferrari. Leclerc wants to become the F1 world champion as soon as possible, but he wants to do it with Ferrari. Basically, like, I'm here to stay.
Yeah, and I mean, you're never gonna get rid of those rumors with a driver or any sort of athlete going to meet with a higher up on a team or an organization. You know, I'm sure the moment that somebody any reporter caught wind that Leclerc was meeting with the CEO, they were like, "Oh,
well, that's where it came from. It like
he
blew
wants to
up.
leave."
Yeah,
you know, and it's like
also they're like, he's demanding he wants to be the first driver, which obviously after one race, but you don't know. But yeah, I also saw people were saying like the Italian media were turning on him when the Italian media normally is. Yeah, well, I guess because they heard the rumors, they just took it and ran with it.
Oh, well, yeah.
Like when Philly athletes won out. Like they take it around. But then I saw, I think it was a TikTok video or something. Apparently, like the cycle's continuing. The last time this happened was Michael Schumacher, and then he gave him 5 world championships. So
might be a good sign then.
Yes, let's pray. But yeah, those
Things
rumors
might be turning around.
I think LeClerc addressed that rumor with one like on Twitter.
Yeah,
that he wants to stay.
It's good for him. You can definitely tell that he loves being a Ferrari driver.
Oh yeah,
and everything, and he loves doing that. So yeah, I mean, it's tough that the media immediately was like, "Oh my God, he wants to leave," and it's like, no, slow down. Like, I just have some concerns. I wanted to air them out in the open, and then that was it. Like, done.
I mean, if you watched season 1 through 5 of Drive to Survive, if you ever I listened to his Beyond the Grid podcast from the beginning of the season.
Oh yes,
the man is. I mean, he grew up not far from Italy.
Yeah,
Monaco is not far. He's Ferrari fans. I mean, Ferrari blood through and through.
Yeah.
And going back, especially having Jean Tot's son as his manager, there's also that connection as well. So
yeah, that definitely deepens the bond.
Yeah,
or that ties to the team.
Yeah, going back to that, my feed after she won literally was just like pictures of her on the grid with all the drivers, her and Mick, her and Michael Schumacher, her and LeClerc. LeClerc over at like their house eating dinner. I was like, what is happening? I was like, the worlds are combining to one. But yes, that's really what Ferrari, they're just giving a lot of rumors and changing things up. But I'm here for Fred's reign. I think it's like a goofball, but he seems like he's serious also.
Yeah, I mean, every time I see a picture of him, he's got resting bitch face. Like, he definitely looks like he has the serious side of him. But no, I think he'll be good. I mean, if this is still Matteo's car, you really, I guess, have to wait until next year to kind of look at it with new engineers.
First full year.
And first full year down the drain and everything. Not down the drain, but like in the books is a better term. But
well, I guess what happens if they introduce any upgrades throughout? Like, is that?
Well, they just have to be careful.
Are they his decision? Are they his designs? Like, did he work on these upgrades with people, or?
I'm sure he's had a little bit of input, but I mean, it depends on how much knowledge he had of the car before he became team principal. It's if he didn't have a lot, I can imagine he's like, all right, you guys are the engineers. You guys just handle all the issues. Tell me what you're going to do, blah, blah. I'll try to pop in here and there with a couple ideas. Or if he was very involved with the development of the car, and I'm blanking on his role before he was team principal, but if he was
Fred?
Yeah.
He was, what's it called? Team principal. Alfa Romeo.
Oh, all right.
So, like, he's always had a tie into Ferrari because they use their power units.
Right. So, okay. So then, yeah. So if he still, my point kind of stands, if he knows a lot about the car, then yeah, he can probably, discuss with the engineers about making upgrades and everything. And so honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if he's studying the car as we, are speaking right now. That's his job now. So it's like, he's got to learn it so that way he can not really put it just directly in the hands of the engineers. Because yes, it's their job to do the things and to know the technical in and outs, and he doesn't have to know all those details, but he still is team principal. He still has to know, like, all right, what's going in the car, how old is it? All those kinds of details of just like, is it time to make an upgrade or is it not time to make an upgrade?
I would say, I'm sure they're traveling, if not already there. So
I'm sure they're there already. Yeah. They got to give them time for jet lag.
It's not like they're traveling to the Europe races. I feel like drivers show up like the day of.
Yeah.
Like in the morning of Europe races, but yeah, we'll see how this weekend plays out for them.
I hope they do better. I honestly, if I was Fred and I was Ferrari, I would be looking at this race. It sucks, but I would be looking at this race as like the real first race of the season.
Last week.
Get that, like, just wash it out of your mind, get it out,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, all right, we're going into this with a blank slate. This is our first race of the season. Let's 1-2 quali and 1-2 the grid. So
yeah. Well, I have another, but it kind of goes on later with predictions and Max Verstappen. What he said.
Yes.
Did you see this?
I think I did.
Or I'll just say it now. So there was a tweet that it came out. People were like, no one's a bigger fan, or no one wants a bigger rivalry between Ferrari and Red Bull, LeClerc and Verstappen, than Verstappen. He wants it to happen. Like, I mean, he said
probably because he wants somebody to actually drive against him.
Yeah, actually drive against. That's not his teammate. Like,
yeah.
But he said Verstappen thinks Ferrari will be stronger in Jeddah due to the SF23 straight line speed and the lower degradation of the nature of Jeddah's track. So
I did see that, actually. Yeah. I mean, Ferrari has.
I mean, watching the highlights from last year, that was an insane race.
Yeah, it was a good race last year. And Max is, Max is right. I mean, I'm not like saying like doubting him or anything, but like, yeah, the Ferrari, I think, has always been a little bit quicker on the straights. And the only reason Red Bull is still able to beat them is put their issues aside, is because a Red Bull has a more balanced car.
Yeah.
So
they've been more consistent, but
yeah. But yeah, it should be a good race.
Yeah. But we'll get to that later on. I want to touch on next. Did you see the Mercedes apologies to the fan?
I did not. Let me
People were saying when they tweeted it out, people were like, I saw people comparing it to like when celebrities do like a notes apology when they're like getting canceled. Like they screenshot their notes from their iPhone because they can't post something so long.
Oh my God.
They literally wrote this whole letter apologizing for how bad the first race went, that they'll get better. They literally start off to all our fans. Bahrain hurt. Who wrote this?
Oh my God, yeah. Bahrain hurt. It hurt each one of us who head into every season to determine the fight for world championships. No shit.
Yeah, well, and you have Lewis Hamilton saying that they're not going to be in the fight this year. You're screwed.
Yeah, I mean, this is intense.
We will keep our heads held high and take this journey step by step together. We are Mercedes. Their PR team had a field day writing this one.
Oh yeah.
Whoever got to put that.
Some intern was writing that was like, oh, look at this, sounds so good. Like, I'm gonna get promoted.
I doubt
for this.
It's an intern. The recovery began immediately after the race, and everybody has a part to play. Okay.
The recovery? What? Really?
At the bottom, this is the second to last paragraph. We are already hard at work on changing the course of this 2023 season. No, you're not, because you just saw Aston Martin call you with.
Oh,
you look at a different thing?
No, I'm reading the third paragraph that starts with third.
No, the one below it.
Okay. I got really confused because my eyes snapped to the middle of it. And the one sentence in there says, we have a zero tolerance policy on discrimination, abuse, or bullying of any kind. And I was like, what happened to this apology letter? But they're just saying like, hey, we hear you online, and whether you're offering,
they were getting yelled at.
It says whether you're offering criticism or support, there's a right way to do it and a wrong way. We want our online community to be a safe space full of healthy debate where people treat others and are treated with respect. Be they team members, Mercedes fans, or rivals. Oh, all right. That punctuation was weird.
You're also reading.
They're just saying
written by English people.
That's true. Yeah, they're just saying we see your complaints online. Some people are just doing it in a really mean way, which, yeah.
Well, that was like last year when Red Bull was going through the cost caps saga, and Christian Horner went on Sky Sports or whatever, and he was like, "These people have families." Like, okay,
yeah,
it's your fault for going over and catering.
Yeah, this is a whole other issue in and of itself. Because people online taking it way too far. But yeah. Is there a spot in here? We're sorry we did so bad letter?
Not to bring this back, but can the Flyers send something out like this?
Honestly, they should just do it at the end of the season. Tank the rest of the season and send out an apology letter like this. I would love if they just copy this word for word and just change stuff a couple points.
Change out Mercedes for Flyers.
Yeah.
I'll draft it up and send it out.
There are no silver bullets in F1. It should be like there are no orange
pucks. And
there's no orange pucks in hockey.
Yeah, we can't bring up the Flyers anymore. It's obviously a touchy subject. All right, what did you want to talk about, Max Verstappen, that we didn't talk about last week?
Yes, so I meant to bring this up last week, and we don't have to have a big discussion about it, but I definitely thought it was interesting considering all the stuff last year that happened between him and Checo.
My favorite.
There was the whole crap with he didn't want to give up his spot to Checo, and it was So during Bahrain,
Checo obviously crashing in Monaco to get the better spot.
Yeah. There was obviously in Bahrain, Max had a huge lead, blah, blah, right? There was a couple radio calls back and forth between him and his race engineer saying, hey, we're obviously in such a good lead. We want to, like, at this point in the race, you're going to preserve the car. You're not racing anymore. Like, preserve the car, preserve the tires, hit this pace, right? The first thing that Verstappen says back is, I will slow down if we both slow down, referring to Checo. And I was like, this son of a bitch is doing it again. And it's like
you're driver number one.
You're driver number one. And you had, I forget what the gap was between the two of them, but
he was extremely far ahead.
He was so far ahead
between Checo and LeClerc.
Yeah, and then there was the other thing too, and this is more comical than it is serious, but his race engineers after the race had happened were filling him in over the radio on Alonso and hell is it? Sainz?
Hamilton, I think, or Sainz, yeah.
One of them, one of Alonso's many battles during the race.
Amazing battle.
And Verstappen was like, "Oh yeah, I saw it. I was watching on the monitors as I was driving by." So it was like this guy had such a lead that he was able just to
TV.
he was just able to be like, "Oh, that's cool. Look at that." Like he was able to do that, and it's like when you kind of pair that with him being like, "I'm only going to slow down if Checo slows down," to me is like it's petty, and it's
really petty.
It's just like I don't know.
That shows like his image. I feel like he comes across as immature like that. Like you're the 2-time world champ.
Yeah.
You're driver number one. You're not leaving Red Bull anytime.
Nope.
Like Checo could be out next year.
Yeah. It's just like, to me, it just rubbed me the wrong way because I'm like, I get it. It's a totally different situation than Saudi Arabia last year.
Oh, absolutely.
Just with him obviously being so far ahead in the points that in that situation, I was like, no, he should let Checo pass him to give Checo more points. Like, fine. And I get it. It's different in this situation because obviously first race of the season, you want as many points as you can, jump out to an early lead. But they weren't saying hey, let Checo pass you. They weren't saying hey, we're going to swap the cars or anything, or hey, we're going to pit you when Checo's, closer than 20 seconds. It was just saying we want you to preserve the car. We need you to slow down to this pace. And he was like, no, I'm not going to do it unless Checo does it. And it's like, well, Checo is currently racing somebody.
Yeah, Checo's fighting.
Checo's fighting. You have a 30-second gap, however large his biggest gap was.
I can go back.
And I was just like, come on, dude. Don't do this again.
I mean, and for a while, he wasn't even in, before Leclerc DNF'd, Checo was in third, so it wasn't even
yeah.
And if Leclerc stayed in, Checo still probably would have been in third.
Yeah, it was just the way it happened and everything. And when I first saw the tweet for the article, I was like, no way this happened. I was like, please tell me this did not happen. And then they bring you right to his helmet cam with the radio call on the audio, and you hear him say that engineer gets on. He's like, hey, Max, we're going to, we have such a lead. We're going to slow down to this pace. And he immediately answered and was like, I will only slow down if we both slow down. And it was clearly hey, I want Checo to slow down. So it's like, come on.
It's the fact that it's the first race of the season. Nothing matters right now.
Yeah,
you're still winning.
You're still winning. You would still be winning. You're still getting a 1-2 for your team. So it's there was so many instances in Drive to Survive this year, I think, where they were F1 drivers are selfish. There was we all have egos, we're all selfish, blah blah. But they are clearly better team players in the grid than obviously Max is. And it's
Well,
like,
and
all right, that's fine.
Why Max wasn't in Drive to Survive for 2 seasons? What? Was it just not in 4? Was he not in 3 and 4?
I think he was just not in 4. I feel
because
like I'm wrong
of
with that.
I think the way they painted him as like the villain, but then he goes and does that. You're like, okay, well, you're coming across as bratty a little bit.
It's a little hard to not be like, in that certain situation, how does Netflix even spin that? Like, besides putting they didn't even audio over him.
I feel like they didn't really even touch on last year when they messed up his quali lap. They did, but like, remember at the end of the season last year, they messed up.
Is that when he started in 5th or something like that?
Yeah, it was like the
back
last
in the midfield.
No, I don't know if it was then or if it was Abu Dhabi. Like, he could have kept going, and they pulled literally a Ferrari with LeClerc calling him into the box at the last minute, and he was like, "No," like cursing them out on the radio. Like, come on, dude, you're winning the championship. It's already yours.
Yeah,
get over it.
I just wanted to bring it up because I thought it was interesting and a nice little callback, I guess, to last year with how he was doing the same crap.
Yeah,
so
I don't think he's ever gonna change.
No, it sucks because I do like him because he's so fast and he's a great racer, but like that right there makes it a little bit harder for me to like him because it's like I get it, you're selfish, you want to win, but at the same time you're 20 seconds ahead and they're not telling you to let him pass. They're telling you preserve the car, slow down, preserve the car, and your immediate thought is I'm only going to slow down if Checo slows down. Like,
right, and if he would have found out, like, they told Checo also to preserve the car because they didn't need to use it at their full power. But
just something I wanted to bring up, and I meant to bring it up last week because that's obviously when it was a little bit more fresh and everything. But
well, I'm sure there'll be other instances throughout.
Yeah, I might put his radio on for this weekend. Just to see if anything like that happens again.
With that wonderful multi-viewer.
No free ads, but multi-viewer is a great thing.
No, they don't need the free ads. They're getting it from everywhere.
No, yeah.
I don't think there was anything else from the week it was kind of quiet besides Ferrari.
It was kind of quiet. Aston Martin dropped, I think, one of the best wallpapers I've ever seen in my life.
I know you wanted to change it.
I did.
Change out.
I was so close. This close. This
you
close
know you
to
can have multiple wallpapers set up on
I know. Right? I have one of her. I have one of Spider-Man, and I have one of the Flash. I would add it. I wouldn't like completely get rid of her, but
you could do the one. You could do the setting where you have like all 4 just like mixed out. So every time you unlock it, a new one pops up.
I should do. I should do that, or I should do it.
That was good though.
When it's a race weekend, it pops up because I might be able to automate it off of the calendar event, but I'm not sure.
I want to download the widget. Someone made a widget last year when the new update came, and you can put like your favorite driver up so you see their standings in like the next race that comes up.
Oh, that's cool.
I think it's literally called Box. I think that's what they made it. But
I would love that. We're getting a little off topic here, but I don't care.
I know. Well, we're about to geek out, so go ahead.
Yeah. So with the new update, Apple put out those live activity things, right? With iOS 16, you can get like live scores on your lock screen, and they update live instead of you getting notification after notification after notification.
Yeah.
I would love if they expanded it to different sports, because right now I only have it for like the Sixers and the Phillies. That's it. So like, and I thought about it with F1. You could do it. You could probably do it pretty easy because it's a pretty wide thing, or like it's got a lot of real estate.
So what, like a leaderboard like during a race?
Yeah, so you can have the top 3 podiums on the right, and then there'd be no way you could do like live positions on a track, but it would be cool to see like just an outline of the track on the side, so that way you're like, oh, I know where they are and everything, like I can see them. And then maybe something else, maybe like a driver you follow, what position they're in or something, or like who's currently, fastest lap. You got a picture of the person the fastest lap or something. I just thought about that, and I was like, that would be really cool. I would love to be able to see if Apple could do anything like that. I also want them to do something for the PGA Tour, but that's
another topic also.
Another topic for another podcast that is a part of our wonderful network.
Wait, to bring it up, did you set your lineup? Because you set their...
I did set my lineup.
I
did. I actually kept it the same as last week.
I didn't change anyone either. I actually applied one of the chips though this time. I read through the chips and what
I
they
should
meant.
do that.
Because you got 3 extra chips after the first race.
Yeah, I should do that.
But I put
this is for F1 Fantasy, by the way.
Yeah, sorry.
We didn't
F1
say anything.
Fantasy.
Yes, F1 Fantasy on F1.com. No free ads. It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. I mean, we have 1 race down.
Yeah, but it's
DNF, obviously, because if you
Charles.
listen, you clearly know who I have on my team.
Yes.
I
kept my lineup the same. I forgot about those chips. I should probably go and use them.
So I put on the autopilot one. It doesn't go on a specific driver. It just goes on like anyone. So whoever finishes ahead. So like I have LeClerc and Alonso are my top 2. So like if Alonso finishes above LeClerc, he automatically gets the extra points. But if LeClerc is my number 1 and finishes above, he gets them. Or
that's cool.
I have Oscar Piastri. If he somehow magically his steering wheel works and he goes above,
my God.
he finishes above Fernando Alonso, he would get the extra points. So there's like 6 now. I think they had 3 last week, and then they said they were introducing 3 more before.
I did not do that. I should do that actually. After
you have to go to the frequently asked questions to find out the descriptions for each chip.
Each one.
Yeah.
Cool.
But besides that,
that's good to know.
I'm so excited.
This is.
Oh, I didn't put on the.
So all right. So let's go over how this happened, how this idea kind of started. I think.
Okay, wait, quick. I know I forgot the banner at the beginning.
That's all right.
If the FIA is listening, if F1 is listening, this is why. If any F1 team is listening, this is why. Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, should have a Grand Prix. Okay, go ahead.
It would be so nice. So I think this idea birthed one day. We were in the car with each other. We were driving
somewhere
up 76 or Kelly Drive, regardless. And we were joking about how that would be a good track area for Formula One Grand Prix. And I know my track layout. I don't know if you have a differing one.
I have kind of something. That's what I was trying to do before. I was saying I was trying to draw with my iPad, but it wasn't working. So I do have something in mind.
My track layout. Yeah, I'll do this as quickly as I can. So you would start in Boathouse Row. You would start.
Yes, that's what I think. We both come to the conclusion Boathouse Row would be a perfect paddock starting.
Yes.
Grid finishing. Yeah.
You would start at Boathouse Row. You had the paddock right there. That would be that's the starting point, right?
Yeah.
You then go down Kelly Drive a little bit towards the Art Museum.
Yes.
If we have anybody listening from the city of Philadelphia, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I'll enter that.
Yes, please. You go down towards the Art Museum. You cut in front of the Art Museum steps. Obviously, very iconic location. Rocky statue. You get, the Rocky movie, obviously. And you kind of have 2 iconic things on either side of you, because if you're driving, the Art Museum's on your right. You can see the steps and everything. And then on the left is actually the Benjamin Franklin Parkway that looks all the way down to City Hall. So you kind of get like the iconic location right there to your right, and then the great view of the city right there. So then what you would do is you would drive past the Art Museum, and this is where it gets my memory gets a little phasey. I'm not good with directions at all.
I pulled up the map. No, you're not.
No. So you would then take something right there. I think it's MLK Drive. I think you have to get on MLK Drive for a little bit to then go up to 76. No.
Oh, we went 2 totally different directions. This is great. You're going back towards like Manayunk, East Falls.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, no, I lied. I'm sorry. You don't go on 76 at all. You don't go on 76. I'm still going the same direction. But
this is why we need a Waze going on right now.
Yeah, this is, yeah.
He sucks with directions, people.
So bad at directions. So you don't get on 76. My bad. You get right on MLK Drive, and you follow that all the way back up.
Yes.
And then you get to
one on the bridge, the East Falls Bridge.
The East Falls Bridge, the worst structurally sound bridge in Philadelphia.
I know. I don't really know if an F1 car should be going over that, but that's another thing.
So then, so you would make a right turn onto the bridge. It's maybe 2 football fields long. I don't even know if it's that long. You go that way, and then you make another right, and you go back down Kelly Drive. Obviously, then you come down to the same point of your starting line, your grid, and everything. So that whole loop in and of itself is about 8-9 miles ish.
Wow.
So it would be a really long. It would be a really long race in terms of the mileage per lap. Obviously, that would make the laps less, but that's what I think would be a great spot because Kelly Drive is windy enough that you would have to brake at certain points.
Oh my God, they would get so close to like the wall.
Yeah,
like,
you would have to brake at certain points, but you could also, with the grip that they get on their tires and everything, you can get some really cool, just like flying down Kelly Drive. And MLK Drive is kind of the same way.
They're like
so it wouldn't really be like a very tight kind of, step on the brakes, step on the gas kind of race. It wouldn't be a very tight race, kind of like Monaco is how that's, a lot of corners and a lot of.
Yeah, but not as Monaco is such tight corners. I feel like.
Yeah, you wouldn't get that. You wouldn't get that here. The roads are wide enough that they would have enough room.
Yeah, they could go flat out.
But they could absolutely go flat out on the straights of MLK Drive and
they'd be
Kelly Drive. And that to me that's what I love to see is the straights of when they just, pedals on the floor and they are moving.
Is it like Baku? Baku has the long straight, right?
Baku does have the long straight, yeah.
They're just going and going
and
going.
Flying. And you can do the two DRS zones are on Kelly Drive and MLK Drive somewhere. Obviously, you can't make them the whole drive, but you can set it up that like half of the road, each road is a DRS zone. And it would just be so cool because you could get people on the art museum steps for the stands.
I know. I was just going to add on. They'd normally do obviously the podium right near, but could you imagine the podium on the Rocky Steps?
Yeah, you could do the podium on the Rocky Steps. That would be, to me, that would just be so cool. It would be such a nice way to tie in like an iconic location in the city.
Yeah.
But obviously going through the city, I know they do it with other tracks, might be a little too difficult. But
see, that's my theoretical track. I go through the city more.
Oh.
So I started. Let me bring up my map. So obviously, same thing. I didn't figure out the distance. I was just kind of. I
only know that distance from running that loop.
But yours too could go through like Fairmount. You could cut through Fairmount and do if you wanted more windy ways.
Oh, true. Yeah, you're right.
Cut out. So yes, I start out Boathouse Row. Go down, go in front of the Art Museum steps, same thing, but go up the Ben Franklin Parkway, go all the way towards City Hall.
Towards City Hall.
So that's the straight, but you have to. There's that one part, like past the Franklin Institute. It's right near Logan Square. There's the circle. You have to.
Oh yes, yeah.
Go around. So that's a little bit of a turn, but then you have to go around City Hall. So that's obviously a very long straight.
Yeah.
But around City Hall, I don't know how long it would be. I mean, I feel like the city's big, but it's really not. It's not crazy big. Like if they went towards the Liberty Belt and then came back somehow,
they could make that. Yeah.
Because like I've even seen like I was thinking like Monaco when they go through that tunnel.
Oh yeah.
You know that sketchy tunnel underneath the art museum. Like there's a way to bring in the cars go through that, but I don't know. I just think going through the city would be cool because of there's our city circuits, but not that many city circuits. So,
yeah. Could you imagine being like a renter in one of the high rises that's right there? Or like,
yeah, that's like when the people, like my TikTok For You page will be packed with it during like Monaco. Like all the people that live in Monaco, they're just sitting in their high-rise apartments, like eating brunch, and they just go over to their balcony and the
race is right there. Yeah, that would be really cool.
Now I know the luxury of what Charles LeClerc grew up with. Literally, he could just watch the race all the time.
Yeah, that'd be really cool if you people are like, what are you doing on a Sunday? And you're like, oh, I'm locked in by the Formula One Grand Prix, but I can watch it for my deck,
Well, and obviously, like they close down in front of the art museum all the time.
Yeah.
They close down Kelly Drive and MLK Drive a lot for people to run.
And boat races.
So like, but I don't know. Something about the paddock being at Boathouse Row just seems so cool.
I think
too bad there's not enough houses to have for each team. There was 10 houses.
How many houses are there?
I don't think 10. I'm gonna Google.
Yeah, Google that. Obviously,
Google that.
That space is so tiny that nowhere would you have like, what is it? Like a pit lane. You would have no room for grandstands. Like, nothing.
Look, it's just a 15. We could have it's a 15.
Look at that. There's room for the commentators too. Perfect.
Oh, it's even better.
Even better.
The FIA officials.
Crofty can call lights out and away we go from one of the houses.
Perfect. We get to wave the checkered flag.
Yeah, this is our idea.
Goes through.
This is audio confirmation right now. FIA, if you're listening, this idea was hatched by Casey Liberatore and Owen Liberatore.
We will be there.
We will be there. We will be waving the flag. I expect it to happen.
I want to be on Martin's grid walk. I want to be interviewed.
Oh, we got to say when this would happen.
Oh yes. Okay. So I said.
Honestly, I agree with what you wrote down for when it would happen. I think it's great.
Yes. So 2026, we figured out 250th birthday of United States of America. Woohoo!
That would fit so well.
Philadelphia, birthplace of America.
That would fit so well.
Same year, we're having the All-Star game for baseball.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
We will have some World Cup games.
Yes, yeah.
And there's rumors they want
popping.
I have to think about the revenue. There's rumors they want like everything because it's such a big birthday. So like I feel like even though it would make sense when to do it 4th of July weekend because but you can't do a 4th of July weekend here. Philadelphia is too packed, and I think that's
too busy. Yeah,
and I think that's Silverstone weekend all the time, so you can't do that.
Yeah, you can't take it away from Silverstone.
No. So I don't know when.
Although that's kind of ironic.
Be able to fit it in. Yeah, it is kind of ironic.
It's a British track.
Yeah,
4th of July.
The British
Screw
are coming.
You, the British.
And now that we have Logan Sargent, we have an American.
We still won that war.
They could take us back anytime, though. But yes, I think that 2026 would be that sometime. Obviously, I don't know how long ago they announced Vegas. A year ago? 2 years ago?
Yeah, it wasn't this far in advance.
No, we got time, and they're still building the paddock. You don't even need to build a paddock. The boathouse row is right there.
Exactly. Seriously, though, where would the pit lane be?
The pit lane. Oh.
Where would the pit lane be?
Because you can't go on the other side because that's where the boats are. They go in the water.
You would have to do it.
I don't know.
No, you couldn't do that. I was gonna say, could you do? All right. You know what? Who cares?
I mean, I didn't think about this.
This is a fictional race anyway. Who cares?
Yeah,
Here's my idea. Here's my idea. Ready? I don't know how you would do this. I don't care how you do it. Around, right in front of the art museum is the pit lane. But in the circle. You know the circle.
Well, you could. I was thinking you could do the paddock there, in that little like grassy the what's it called there?
Is there enough room to do the paddock in front of the art museum?
What is it called? What's the oval's name? I'm such a bad Philadelphia person.
Eakins Oval.
Eakins Oval. Yeah, that's where you could put. If Boathouse Road didn't work out, you could also put it there.
But they could do it, but
because they obviously pop up paddocks in different places. Like I'm pretty sure the paddock and the pit lane is not sitting there at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami for the whole year.
No, but hear me out. We're getting really wacky with this now. This is a fictional plan, so I don't care.
We're gonna geek out.
I don't care anymore. You build platforms that go on the other side of the boathouse row. So you would have to build them in the water and everything, right?
Oh, that'd be cool.
But you build platforms that go far enough out that obviously cars could get around and everything. But they peel off of Kelly Drive.
Mm-hmm.
They go around. And then they obviously do their pit stop and everything. And then they come back out. And there's a little cafe there and everything. And there's when you get down to that.
The waterworks are down near there too.
You have the waterworks. But when you get down to that area, there's a road that would lead right back up to Kelly Drive. So they would just hop right back on and then go, right, and then you're back on the circuit.
And clearly they're not flying through the pit lane, so
no, there's a speed limit. Yeah, Esteban Ocon decides to say, "Screw it." I hope he.
We'll get to that later.
I hope he gets another penalty.
But if you think about the benefits to the city, obviously I said the revenue, but the roads would be paved.
The roads, Kelly Drive would be paved. Having driven that road for 2 straight years, I would be so happy.
There would not be any potholes.
There would be no potholes. Oh my God, no, leave them. Make it part of the Grand Prix.
They're really gonna be porpoising.
Yeah. Max Verstappen's gonna be screaming in his headset, hitting a pothole 200 miles per hour and having the wheel go flying off.
Ferrari will hit one and the car will explode.
Yeah.
That'll be the race. You'll have like Haas win.
There's already also enough in the Schuylkill River that if you add a tire into there, it doesn't really matter.
There's already multiple, so
yeah, who cares?
Pirelli tire.
Make it a little bit more unique and not your, Nissan Altima tire.
An F1 car.
Yeah.
I would lose my mind if there was a Philly GP. I
just think it with the way that the sport has exploded, obviously different cities are going to want to get in on it. And obviously this is a pipe dream, but
yeah, because I'm shocked New York hasn't announced one yet. When they had Formula E, and I think it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, I thought they did have one. Because they were going over. I thought they did announce here would be a circuit if we did it. Because I thought they were going over a couple bridges. They were going in and out of the island of Manhattan. They were going over a bridge at one point.
Formula E, I think they went over a bridge.
Oh. I tried to watch Formula E for a little bit.
The cars sound weird.
Not the same.
Sounds like a remote control car.
It's essentially is.
I know.
Because you as a fan can do things to help the drivers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's because it's not gas, right?
True.
And they're operating off of a battery, you can control how much output that battery puts out. It's the same thing actually with the batteries in the Formula One cars. When they go to overtake, they use that battery to give them a little extra surge of power to overtake somebody. So Formula E obviously is all battery, and the fans can kind of vote for almost like a driver of the day. I don't think it's called driver of the day though. And that person, that driver will get so many votes that it unlocks a portion of their battery that they can use, and they get a speed boost from it. I'm that's just weird. Like
Mario Kart?
Yeah, literally.
Interesting.
It's odd, but yeah, Philadelphia Grand Prix, make it happen, FIA.
Make it happen, F1. That'd be so cool.
It'd be so
Well,
nice.
There was stuff today. People were it's a slow news day. We're talking about the London GP.
The London Grand Prix, yeah.
In East London, and people were yeah, let me drive by the dumpsters that live in London. They're why? No.
It was actually all over my timeline today. Was the London Grand Prix.
Because it was the only news that was being talked about in F1.
Yeah, it was a slow news day.
The F1 wants to have another race that's all theirs. Vegas is all theirs.
Right. Yeah, they don't want...
It is the F1 Las Vegas Grand Prix.
I'm sure they will want that. I mean...
Not just wearing an F1 shirt for no reason.
Why would you not, with how popular your sport has become in the past 3 years,
Yeah, and growing so much in America. They'd be stupid not to.
Stupid.
But yeah, so just don't drive on a Saturday night in Las Vegas. I get why they're driving at nighttime in Las Vegas.
Yeah. You got to do it at night in Vegas.
I know. I mean, it does help that it's a Saturday night, so it'll be, Saturday 1:00 in the morning for us, I think.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's better. I'll stay up for that one.
I'll stay up for that one too.
If we get a true title fight, it could come down to that race. If it's close,
yeah,
someone
you're right.
winning. I mean, F1 and Vegas probably hope someone wins in Vegas.
Oh, the Vegas odds maker would love those.
Oh,
they would love that.
They're probably secretly hoping.
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing else about our theoretical.
It's all out of me now.
Just make it happen. F1 and FIA. Make it happen.
Yeah, please. And again,
if you need it in writing, we'll send it in writing.
We'll send you an email right now. I will type it up right now if you want me to.
Just insert the link.
Owen and Casey Liberatore. they signed. I don't know if there's like a byline for tracks, but that's our byline.
No, you know
Philadelphia Grand Prix by Casey and Liberatore.
You know how like in before each race when they're doing the national anthem, like if the drivers are from that, like in Monaco, LeClerc stands on like this like, or in Silverstone, it's like Norris, Russell, and Hamilton. They stand on like this mural that's on the ground, like could just be like our faces.
It will be our faces, and there will be a Delco national anthem that they will play.
A Delco, yeah.
This is happening.
And we'll have Gritty, Swoop, Fang.
Who the heck is Fang?
The Union.
Oh, sorry, Union.
Come on. They're the best team.
You're right. They are.
I'm forgetting one.
Gritty,
Sixers.
Swoop, Fang.
Winston.
The Fanatic?
Oh my God,
You forgot the Fanatic? Oh God, we're gonna end this show right now. Thank you everybody for your time. Casey is no longer a Philly sports fan.
I gotta go into hiding. See you later. Why can't I think of Winston? No, Winston's the Wings.
Hop.
The Sixers. I want to say hip hop, but that's old school.
Hip hop is old school. Yeah, hop. That's what I was trying to say. Franklin.
Whatever. Franklin. Yes. Franklin.
There you go.
Franklin. Thank you.
Stupid mascot.
I'm sorry. I'm a child of hip hop. I grew up with hip hop. Yeah. Okay. Moving on to the Saudi Arabian GP predictions on the Jeddah circuit. Well, and just stuff about where'd my phone go? Saudi Arabian GP, because we're finally in race week, people. Thank God.
It's back.
So it's back. So obviously it's 27 turns, 50 laps. For times on the 17th, St. Patrick's Day, practice is at 9:30 a.m. Practice 1, 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Practice 2, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. The 18th, practice 3, 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Qualifying 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. and the race is on at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is. Lap record. Obviously, there's only been the first race was in 2021 for the Saudi GP, so the lap record was set in 2021 by Hamilton of 1 minute 30 seconds and literally just over 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Past two winners, Hamilton 2021, Verstappen last year. But a close battle with LeClerc. There's 3 DRS zones and 1 speed trap. I think I saw on the map the speed trap by turn 26 and 27.
Yes. Yeah, it's just following turn 26.
Yeah. If you follow us on Instagram, I posted what I've coined fast facts on whatever track we're going to. I posted them all. Don't judge.
That pun probably took a while for you to think of, huh?
No. Yeah, maybe a little.
Yeah.
I was really proud of my what?
I was gonna say a sport built around speed and struggle with fast facts.
I was like, is that too cheesy? But it's whatever. Yeah. So obviously, what are you laughing at?
Nothing.
Obviously, our predictions. So, do you want to go first?
Yes.
He's not ready. I can see him in the Google sheet.
No, I'm sorry. I'm trying to think. I did not have time to write these down, but I thought of it in my head. Obviously, all right. So first place, Max.
Yeah.
Wait, are we doing race predictions or qualifying?
No, this is qualifying. Just give me one.
Qualifying positions. Okay.
1 through 3.
All right. First, obviously, Max. Second, I hate to do this because it's the boring pick, but I have to.
Don't do it. It was something wild. You never know.
I was gonna say Checo, but I feel like I'm gonna go with LeClerc. Actually, I'm gonna go with LeClerc. I think he'll come into this with a little bit better mindset than last week.
It's his villain era, I believe.
I think he's on his revenge tour.
Yeah.
He'll take, Max P1, LeClerc P2, and I have to go Checo P3, just because I think, again, Red Bull's cars are unstoppable. So I think they'll definitely be in the top 3, if not blocking out the grid again.
Yeah. And this is I'll get into it. But this is qualifying. So I have Verstappen. I have Max P1, Leclerc P2, and I put Alonso P3.
I was gonna say Alonso too for P3.
I think he's got the taste again of being that close to winning.
Yeah.
So he's coming for it. And I think you're having probably a fully healthy Lance Stroll. Aston Martin's going to be in the top 5, 6.
I could see them both cars top 6.
Yeah. But wait, scratch that. I saw it literally right before we started recording.
Top 5 feels like a stretch for me for Stroll, but I could see it happening. Well, go ahead.
No, what did he finished the top 6, 5?
Finished 6th last week, I think. I'm blinking.
But okay, so obviously that's the qualifying places, but I saw this right before we started. I'm going to cry a little when I read it, so bear with me. So the Ferrari engineers are still not 100% certain on what caused the issue for Leclerc in Bahrain. So he could still end up with a freaking grid penalty.
Not only could he end up with a grid penalty, that means it could happen again to him.
Yes.
That means that his car could break down again.
At least it's only 10. I think it could only be 10. After Bahrain, everyone thought he was going to end up with a 20th grid penalty, and he was going to be in the back of the grid.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine?
Yeah, because he probably ended up on second. But literally, oh my god.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Leclerc could finish second in qualifying, but have a 10-place grid penalty, and be starting out of points. But we'll see. I'm not trusting in him until I see. And the worst part is, I'm going to be a freaking hair salon. You're going to be the one watching in the live stream qualifying, so I'm not even going to know.
It's going to be a good one.
I'm going to have my phone underneath like the hair cape being like, excuse me. Oh, okay. Race winner. Go ahead.
Max. I hate it so much because I feel like it's setting up for such a boring season. But Max first. I'm gonna go Alonso second.
Oh.
Leclerc third. If he doesn't die out. If his car doesn't break on him again.
Dies out. You will hear me. Well, we might be watching together. You will hear me from
I think
Drexel Hill, Delaware County. I'll be screaming at the top of my lungs. I'll be crying. Maybe we should live stream and so people can watch our
live stream our great reactions.
But okay, I'm still gonna stick with it. I'm putting Leclerc P1 because
wow, ride or die.
Yeah, obviously ride or die. He's the only merch I have. Leclerc P1. I have Verstappen P2, and then I have Alonso in 3.
P3.
Yeah. I think he might be a frequent flyer on the podium this year.
I think if
something crazy
goes wrong with their car, or him,
knock on wood,
I don't want him to get into a major crash
or fall off his bike
break
like
himself,
Stroll.
or fall off his bike. Yeah.
Your driver of the day.
Depending on. It's so funny. I feel like I'm broke record saying this. Depending on his car, Charles Leclerc.
Yeah, that's who I have also.
Because
his car is just so not reliable. You don't know what to expect.
You don't know what to expect of the car. And I think this is how I'm thinking of it. There's 2 routes. There's either he doesn't get the grid penalty, 10-place grid penalty.
I hope.
And if he doesn't, obviously he starts in a better position. But I can see him, especially if he goes on to win, I can see people voting for that. Based off of A, a victory, and B, 2 weeks ago, him not finishing. If he comes back and does that, people will, love that. And, his army of fans will rejoice for him. But
same.
And then I think, and then I think if he does get the 10-place grid penalty, he is a good enough driver to work his way back up into at least the top 5.
We saw it last year multiple times.
Exactly. So and that in and of itself, is a great drive. Yeah. And he has less laps to do it this week than he did last week, if he does get a grid penalty. But Yeah, I think if either of those things happen and he's having a good race and everything, I think he'll get driver of the day.
Yeah. Do you think any? I didn't put this on here, but let's just go for it. Do you think there'll be any DNFs?
Yeah, I think there would be at least one. I mean, if I had to put my money on anything, it would be a McLaren DNF. That's what I would put my money on. Whether it's Oscar Piastri's Windows update strikes again, or Lando Norris, something goes wrong with the car. I mean, that's the thing. It sucks because they're both good drivers. So it's like, what are you going to do when the car
race for Ocon? I pray he doesn't get any penalties. If he gets a penalty, I'm going to crack up. I will crack up.
If I had to do an over-under for how many penalties he would get this week, I would set the bar at 2, and I probably would pick over again.
There's probably is there like a bet you could probably? There probably is.
Pure for comic relief, I would absolutely pick the over. Let me see if there's a bet. Draft.
I have a good feeling about Williams too. They had a strong showing last week. I have a good feeling for.
They did finish. Them. Yeah, I mean, finishing in the points for them on the first race, that's fantastic.
10-12.
10-12.
Logan Sargent was not even that far.
He's right there. He's right there. And I've been seeing a lot of Williams' TikTok page has been popping up for me a lot. And I've been seeing more videos of Sargent. So I've never gone to the profile page, but it almost feels like they've completely forgotten about Alex Albon.
No, there's
the amount of videos I've seen of Logan Sargent.
I love Alex Albon though. Him and his girlfriend, they're hilarious. What's it called?
I'm looking to see.
Do you think they'll be in? Oh, I also put if there's a new lap record. I put yes either by Verstappen or Leclerc.
Yeah, I think so. What was the record again? You said it earlier. 130 something.
Yeah, 130.
130.734. I think so. Yeah, I mean
they're saying it's the fastest street circuit in the world. There's definitely.
Yeah.
And if the conditions are right.
If everything lines up, absolutely. Even if everything doesn't line up, I would think we would. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope. They tweeted a picture of Piastri the other day, and I retweeted it, like with the prayer circles, and I was like manifesting that his steering wheel works.
His steering wheel actually turns on.
Yeah, and then I saw a meme, and it was I think it was after testing or practice last week. It was Lando Norris was like on a phone, and he like a cell phone. And he looked upset, like he was talking to someone, and the first one was like, "Hey Daniel, can you put me in touch with your lawyer again?" And then the next one was like, "Hey Christian Horner, can we revisit that Red Bull contract?" Because apparently he turned them down before he signed his extension.
That's stupid.
Right? Like Lando Norris, you probably don't want to be driver number 2, but you're BFFs with Max Verstappen, so.
Let me see if here's F1 race props. Podium finish, top 6 finish, points finish, fastest lap.
Boring.
There's a first car to retire bet.
Oh!
I'll tell you actually. Let's see.
It's Charles Leclerc.
Charles Leclerc is at plus 1,600 odds for that.
Leclerc.
Most likely to retire at the top of the list is Oscar Piastri.
Oh, poor Oscar.
I could be completely wrong about odds and everything. I think
we're due for a Haas DNF. They can't go too far with that one.
No. There's if a safety car will happen. There's win race and fastest lap.
Yeah, well, I feel like no.
There's a fastest lap. There's a hat trick. It's win the race, fastest qualifier, and fastest lap. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
I feel like I've seen something else too. They call it like a grand slam. If they win the race, fastest lap, P1 in qualifying, and maybe fastest in qualifying. But I guess it's the same thing. Fastest in qualifying and
team of winning driver. I mean, that's pretty standard. Yeah, I mean, Red Bull's at a minus 440 for that, so they're easily favored to win. The next closest team is Ferrari at plus 55. So that's
I literally was coming back and forth today on an Instagram post. I think if Ferrari messes up anymore, it's clearly going to be 1-2 Red Bull, Aston Martin for the constructors.
Yeah.
If Ferrari slips anymore, it will be a 1-2. Well, Aston Martin basically is Red Bull on track, so.
I mean, yeah, literally. But did your lights just flicker?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna cry. Okay.
Yes, I think we will get a fastest lap. It'll be an interesting race.
A new lap record. Yeah.
New lap record.
I hope we get like last year. I hope we get Verstappen LeClerc battle.
That would be nice.
Type of racing there is. I hope.
I'll say this too. I want a race, and I know it's only the second one. I want a race where we see Max Verstappen more than just at the start.
Yeah, they just literally like, okay, bye.
Because he left the start last race in Bahrain, and he was gone. You never saw him the rest of the broadcast, and I was like, all right, that's fine.
You might think I'm kind of trying to like conjure some ghost in here or something.
Why? Is it flicking some more?
Yep.
Oh boy.
I'm just gonna cut out all to finish it. But yeah, I think there'll definitely be a new lap record. Yeah, I hope we get to see. I hope the middle of the race was so tight between Checo, Sainz, Hamilton.
Yeah.
Alonso, Russell. That like that's what last week you didn't even see Pierre Gasly go up into the points.
Yeah.
When he had such an insane race because they were so focused on
gained 11 positions in the race.
Yeah, the middle of the pack. But yeah, I think it'll be a good one, and I love a night race. But
night races are fun. I like them too.
I need the back-to-backs. I love a good back-to-back because, because next week obviously we'll talk about anything new within F1. We'll recap the Saudi Arabian GP, see how it goes, see if our predictions come true. Mine probably won't. His probably will. And then
take those safe bets.
We'll give it's Australia GP is March 31st to April 2nd. So we have another weekend in between. So I need that. And then after Australia, Azerbaijan is not until the 28th or through the 30th of April.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. And then I mean that's summertime basically, so then it's like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Because Ferrari's gonna be busy. It's because they have Italy, Imola May 19th through 21st, Monaco's May 26th through the 28th, and then Spain, Carlos's home race is June 2nd through June 4th.
Nice.
I'm gonna say it now. I'm not conveniently not gonna be around for Carlos's Spain home race.
That's okay. You hate him anyway, so
I do not.
It's all right.
I have a prior engagement I already know about.
Carlos, if you're listening to this, she hates you.
But I love your teammate.
Loves your teammate so much that she doesn't want you to ever finish a race, and she wants him to win all of them. That's it.
We're getting in trouble with the Carlos Sainz fans, okay? Don't do this to me. That is it. But yeah, so we'll figure out something else to talk about next week. But yeah, she'll be praying for a good race.
Hopefully.
But yeah.
A good race.
Hold on 1 second. All right, thank you so much for listening to the F1 Underground podcast today. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to follow us on both Instagram @_F1 and on Twitter @underground_F1. That's a tongue twister.
Yeah. It is.
Once again, huge thank you to Kyle's and the guys over at Underground Sports Philadelphia for helping us make this show happen. Go give that show a follow as well, and we'll see you next week after the Jeddah GP.
Jeddah.
If you want to follow along, we'll be live tweeting throughout the weekend, throughout practice, throughout qualifying, and then it's really hard to pay attention to the race and tweet
and the
at the
race
same time.
itself. Yeah,
we'll make it happen. So, but all right, thank you.
Thank you.